Breaking Bread Podcast. Breaking Bread Podcast. Ooh, Breaking Bread Podcast. Breaking Bread Podcast. Ooh, Breaking Bread Podcast. Breaking Bread Podcast.
Like, hold on, something's happening right now, and like we all been talking about. When we talked about this prior, like yo, the city, something's changing. You look up now, the change is happening.
The change is happening. That's a great point to interject and welcome our friends to season 3. Good people.
Welcome back.
What's up, my
Good
boys?
people. Welcome back. Listen, I know that you recognize our guests today. Listen, we got the one and only Saul Parada, the one and only Zay from We the Roses. And listen, let me give y'all a little bit of background, and then I'm gonna throw to our guests. So, boom. This is season 3, first episode, man. You know, we really wanted to get started a little bit later. The homies called us up and said, look, we got something we want to say. We got something for the people. We got something we got to put on people's head tops out here in Central North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. What up, Durham? Durham's always first. What up, Durham? Shout out to Raleigh. Shout out to Chapel Hill, Goldsboro, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Selma, Smithfield. Shout out to Joker Coast, Selma. Y'all know what it is, baby. Clayton, y'all know what it is, baby. Wide Awake.
Always.
One time for the people, 25 East Side. Look, Saul and Zay have something for y'all, but we wanted to take the time to say thank you all for supporting us,
For sure.
watching us. Merch is on the way. We got the limited edition Roses Girls we throw on. We gonna make sure y'all see that.
Jersey swap.
Listen, Jersey swap later. That's a little teaser for y'all. Y'all don't really know what that's about, but we got y'all. But listen, welcome to the Breaking Bread Podcast. Zay, Saul, what it do, y'all? What's good with y'all, man?
What up?
Talk to the people. How can they find you first? Let's start with how can they find you out here in the social media streets?
Well, you can find We the Roses at We the Roses Fest on all networks, and then online we're at WeTheRosesFest.com. You can also find me personally at Zay the Influence, but I'd be careful.
I'm surprised you even said that. I thought you was going to stay with
I know,
the Roses.
Yeah, I'd be careful with that one. If you want to like me more, go to We the Roses. If you want to have something to say, just go to my personal page.
Bars.
You know. But yeah, that's how you can find, there's 2 things we're involved in, along with the many other artists like Sasha. Got the Sunnies, got the 3 a.m.s, got the Erics, the Alluras, the Yonders, the Unos. It's just so much. Like we have like so much going on right now. It's awesome. In the art space is what.
Yeah, and all of
the
those
DJs
wonderful,
too.
Yeah, the artist space that those artists y'all just named, go check them out.
Yep.
Their stuff is out here right now. They fly. They're doing shows right here in the city. Great entertainment. You're looking for a night out. You find yourself in North Carolina for a weekend. You want business. You traveling. You hear RDU International. You in the right spot. Those are the folks you definitely need to be rock with. Saul, what's going on with you, player?
What's up, man? No, it's been same thing, just been rocking. A lot of things coming up. So it's been just trying to get everybody kind of on the same page and kind of getting back in touch with people too, and it's been awesome to kind of get everything aligned for this week in April. And, being in the city for a while now, we've been doing this, what's our fourth show coming up, and it's been about 2.5 years almost, and we're finally, it's like everything's making more sense. It's kind of everything's clicking, and it's been awesome to build the relationships with the venues and just finally everyone understanding kind of what we're trying to do too.
Yeah.
And it's been dope. Trying to combine and collaborate with people has been awesome. So yeah, I'm on Saul Good MGMT online, and my personal Saul Good 04. I made both my accounts public. I've been trying to kind of push more of the mental health aspect as well as with the music and entertainment. So it's been a lot of stuff going on just in the community with everything with entertainment and with downtown Raleigh trying to figure out their path of how to create a comfortable environment for everybody. And I get to talk to some really cool people on that side with the organization of downtown through the Substance Use Advisory Commission Board. Shout out to those guys. I get to talk to them about all the back end things, and then I get to kind of push the music and entertainment to let them know all the people I'm connected with that could help push the city to come together in a positive way. So it's exciting to finally get invite people to actually show them things that are coming together. So
No, that's exciting. That's what we need downtown Raleigh.
Yeah.
So that's exciting that you're able to influence them like that and put the word in and speak for people of what we're looking for downtown Raleigh.
yeah, there's a lot of good people in the, and I always joke around that I don't try to separate it, but the downtown nightlife and then just the daytime Raleigh. It's almost like I'm trying to be the concierge because I know some awesome people in the nightlife, and then the daytime people might not know everyone because they only see what they see on the news or what they hear stories of. And I think the best part is kind of being that liaison in a sense and letting them know like these are the places to go. These are the and it's kind of pushing the city. The high tide raises all the boats mentality. So
Amen.
and getting them ready because I love having him. He's always on the backside when it comes to like I said, my hype mental coach, personal trainer mentality. But it's like he helped give me that energy to also be out in the public, and it's like it's a lot of support. So yeah, it's awesome.
He's a walking motivational quote. Every time, you know what I'm saying? You say, "Hey, what's up today?" You walk away feeling like you can punch a wall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro,
I'm about to go out here and make 50,000 a day.
CJ Monet hit me up. She was like, "Do you wake up and drink a ginger shot and do crack?"
The AM energy is palpable.
Yeah.
Boy, Zay have you deadlifting 465 at 3 a.m.
Right.
Why you in the gym this early? Man, I just got off the phone with Zay. We was talking about some stuff, and then I don't know how it happened. What was y'all talking about? We was talking about throwing this party or something. And then next thing I know, I'm in the gym. I don't even know why.
right, yeah.
And I mean, is Zay with you? No, I was on the phone with him. I'm in here by myself.
I know I was at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Then I turned to Planet Fitness. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
He done threw my food away.
Threw my food away.
Right. He's fast too. He's remarkably fast. You wouldn't think he'd be that quick, but he's pretty quick. Good people, man. Listen, we are so glad that y'all out here rocking with us. We understand that we're gonna get to some good positive news, some announcements, get some folks out here and tell them where they need to go. But before we do that, we gonna run back something that went viral because of what you said, right? Because of what you said. So we gonna run this. I cannot be convinced one more time for those who don't know. So I cannot be convinced. We gonna take a position. We gonna, like my man said, we gonna not only be on that hill, we gonna bring some snacks. Last time Zay hit us with the I cannot be convinced that We the Roses is not going international, and it went viral. It went crazy. So now, what we gonna do? Heat check. We gonna run it back. I cannot be convinced. It's up right now on the Breaking Bread podcast. I'm gonna start this off. Okay, boom. Let me start with something pretty lightweight and simple, right? So here's the thing. I don't know if y'all heard about this thing going on with the Samsung refrigerators and the ice makers, but long story short, there's a specific model of Samsung refrigerator where the ice maker wasn't engineered correctly. So it kind of melts, gets moldy and stuff like that. I cannot be convinced when you are a corporate conglomerate and you know that your stuff is not engineered correctly, you need to get these folks their money back. You hiring these engineers that make all kinds of money. Man got 4-5 degrees. But it took somebody to say you really probably shouldn't put the ice maker in the refrigerator, see, because the hot air is going to touch on the cold and it's going to melt. And then then you're going to have all this mold and stuff. So now when the baby's trying to get their snacks, they're trying to get their little ice water, now they're telling me that they can't drink water. Now they got to drink Capri Suns because the ice got mold in it, even though we the most cleanest people that you ever seen in your life. So now I got a conundrum. So now I got to convince a 12-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old why you need to drink water when they have a perfectly palpable excuse pre-prepared by Samsung. Samsung, run me my bread, dog.
Right.
Run me my bread, dog.
Call 1-800. Look, they're gonna say call 1-800-FIX me, and the whole time gonna be 3 days.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all knew, right? Y'all make billions of dollars. That little 25 ain't gonna bother you in the refrigerator. Run me my fridge. That's what I got.
They
Derek, what
focus
you
on
got?
the phones, you know.
They're like, yeah.
All those green bubbles that pop up. Shout out to my Android friends.
And that's the same green shit that's coming out of my refrigerator. And that's part of the problem.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Samsung, I mean, I'm playing, but I'm not playing. We still love y'all. Come to the show, get some snacks.
You go.
Derek, what you got?
All right, so here's mine. Well, this is more of a statement. You know the term spin the block.
Spin the block.
If I was like, somebody spin this block. The person who spin the block with me that struggles is DoorDash. They always come back with something. I was quitting. I was like, I'd rather eat my meal plan. I ain't eating out no more. 50% off. Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Free door pass. Come on, fam. Then Chick-fil-A send me a free chicken sandwich. Come on, fam.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
As soon as I try to be committed to my health, y'all put pressure on me.
No, it's
I never
facts.
spin the block. But damn it, Chick-fil-A, Damn it, DoorDash, you about to get me.
Boy, Chick-fil-A.
If I order salmon, does it work? If I order salmon, it's not spinning the block, right? I'm using it for good. If I order salmon and some green,
They raised the price on it.
They raised the price on the
actually,
They're like,
You're
oh,
asking.
this is the good stuff.
get it
you get
imported in
healthy food?
here.
$34.
Quality
Yeah.
food tax.
My boy said if it's salmon, is it still spinning the block?
Right.
Listen, I met my macros. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
I
ain't
get
no
the
carbs in
Tim
here.
Hortons. It's no
Right.
garlic parm right here. There's no garlic parm. There's no fries with cheese and bacon on it right here. I'm getting salmon.
Right. And I got, I got some spinach on the side.
But it's kind of like, when you get into a relationship, all your old people pop up. Same thing when you try to be healthy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Oh, wow.
DoorDash, what's up? How
They heard you
doing?
getting married.
Right.
All your old
Right.
ladies pop up. Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, let me slide you this 50%
Spin
off
the
from
block.
Chopper. Yeah.
DoorDash,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
that pad thai? Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. And you like that gyoza
Here's
too?
a little,
Yeah,
here's a little,
slide it
little
with these.
coupon whenever you want.
Listen,
to use it.
and then they hit you with the aim. We're gonna give you free priority.
Right.
Yeah, I'll spin the
There's
block.
no
Right.
I'll
expiration
spin the block.
date on
I'll be
this.
there in 15
Right.
minutes at the doorstep.
Order 9 times, get the 10th one free.
Just
Order 9 in a row right now. Bing, bing, bing,
DoorDash
bing.
like, I heard you've been talking to Baby Bot Chore. What about fries?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
We still here.
What's better than 1 billionaire?
You're right.
2.
I need extra ranch, thanks. I appreciate it.
But you can keep that. You can give him mine. I don't need that stuff. You can
Right.
give it straight to him.
Spin the block.
Spin the block. That is wild to me. Good brothers,
man.
what y'all got? I'm gonna let y'all figure out who going first.
I'll go. I got something.
Here we go. Let's
I
get it.
can't be convinced that the powers that be are losing their shits. Oh, you can't curse on here. Sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can?
It's
All right,
fine.
bet. So I can't be convinced that the powers that be, especially the American powers, are losing their shits due to people like ourselves. Because the independency, right? The independency is happening at such a high rate. Imagine having, how many people live in America? I don't know. Millions of children, and then those millions of children come to you and be like, Dad, Mom, I don't need you anymore. You lose your brains, right? Because like I feel like they can't really control us anymore. I can get on this radio show that my homeboys have 20 minutes from the crib, say what I need to. With everybody being so inclusive now, that's another thing. Like racism does exist, but you probably got to go to the backwoods of North Carolina somewhere because racism does exist systematically. But when I sit with my friends, I got a Russian best friend. He's El Salvadorian. We all Indians or something, Africans. We don't know. They slaughtered most of us, so we don't have the exact. We're just
See, what
black.
we're saying is we ain't got the records.
We're
We ain't got-
black, but we don't know the exact. But I have friends that know exactly where they were due to they didn't face the slaughter like we did. So I'm saying like strategically, I feel like they might be losing it and still trying to divide us, but it's not working. For example, I come from, Camden, New Jersey, Sicklerville, New Jersey. Like you would think I would grow up and be a certain way, but for some reason it didn't get to my brain. Like it didn't work. Every time I see, race is this, race is that, or division, they trying to divide households, they trying to divide friends, but it's not working. And I'm looking up and I'm seeing it all over the place now. I'm seeing like what I deem as successful independent is not successful to them because they're like, oh, they can't control Isaiah. They can't control Zay. They can't control Saul. We can't tap into the Breaking Bad podcast. Them boys is doing it independently. That's a headache because now there's so many outlets that they can't control. So if I wanted to get on here and say we brought a Ye in here and he just said whatever he want on here, he just mantling the systems, they really can't do anything anymore. We've watched them try to cancel many of people. And then I don't say I agree with Ye with everything he's doing, but he's an example of, hey man, y'all can't do nothing anymore. This is not slavery no more. This is over. We're out the fields. Like they're trying to hold as many as they can back and say, I'll give you more to pick a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. You see that like I see it like you said in Ye, but Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith and that side now, like you see they still on ESPN doing First Take, their corporate job. But now they have their own entities as well and saying what they want to say, doing what they want to do. And it doesn't even affect the corporate side.
Yeah, because they have
Exactly.
to bend.
They have
to
the
bend
corporate had to
now.
bend because at first it'd be like, no, you can't. If you do that, you're likely to lose your job in that role in that corporate. Now the corporate's like, nah, we're separated as church and state. that's your stuff over here. This is our stuff over here. You see it now because Stephen A. Smith, you see him in a different light on his podcast that he
Well, they're getting so much. They're getting so much bigger.
It's getting so much bigger.
They
He's
have
the
no
brand
power anymore on that side.
Exactly. Same
That's
thing.
what I think is happening to us. Is like you
They have
run
that
into
leverage
us.
now.
They have that
Stephen
leverage.
A. and Shannon, they have that leverage where the bigger corporations are like, we have to let them do what they do.
Yeah, because bringing them over here, we get to.
We're going to lose what we have.
And they have the hearts and the minds of the people.
Yes.
The thing about this marketing that people want to forget is that to get the people, to get the money, you got to get to the people.
You have to be genuine. You have to have some type
Exactly.
of substance.
You got to have something with you. So when you look at a Stephen A., you look at a Shannon Sharp, you look at these folks, they recognize it like, wait a minute. So all we really need is a couple cameras, some editing software, this and that and the third, because the people are coming to see Unc. You got to realize that Shannon Sharp ain't call himself Unc.
He didn't.
The culture called him Unc, and he
Right.
adopted it. That's one of the biggest things in the culture that can happen. When you get a nickname in the culture that shines positivity and light and entertainment that says, I'm rocking with you, he heard it and accepted it. But you want to know who else heard it? ESPN heard it. The Walt Disney Company heard it. They all heard it. So if they go out here and cut Shay tomorrow, then Club Shay going through the roof because we can still get Shannon Sharp. And I'm a big Shannon Sharp fan. Hey, Shay, come to the show. Bring some of that LaPortier, too. We need some of that.
we need
It's
some
the
of that.
We
changing
need
of
some of
the
that.
guard mentality too, because you have the Skip Baylesses, right? That was ESPN for the past 20 years, right? Of just Woody Page and all those the older heads,
Yeah.
and then some you could tell that they adapt, but then they weren't adapting to some of the changes in culture, and they tried, but you can tell what's real and what's fake, right? What's for TV and what's real, and that's why the personal podcasts show a different light of the Draymond Greens, the Micah Parsons, of like the Kelsey brothers, what's really happening behind the scenes, and then what's being pushed out on the front end. And I think that we're waking up. A lot more people are waking up and understanding like what they want to believe in, but then seeing the reality of the checks and balances or the receipts too. It's like, oh wow, this has been going on for so long. Why is he saying it like that, or why is he be talking like that? So it's the old heads not adapting, and that's why I've always said this is our time.
It's every day.
And that's why I was saying I can't be convinced that almost it's about to sound crazy, but I think we're free. That's what I'm basically saying. Like mentally, they probably still have some of us, but for the most part, we're free. Like all of us are free. I can get online. I could say whatever I want. I could print whatever I want on a shirt. Shout out to the merch.
Shout out to the merch. We the Roses, baby.
Yeah, humbly
Hey,
made.
how can we find the merch?
You gotta come to the show 4/4, baby.
Yeah. April 4th, baby. Poorhouse. April 4th.
You can go get your
Poorhouse.
ticket or at the Poorhouse website. You get your ticket, come in. The merch booth will be right to your left.
Ooh, we gonna get to that in just a
Yeah,
moment. As soon as
yeah.
we gonna run through Solid, we about
But
to
yeah,
get to the
that,
work.
that's basically what I was getting at, y'all. We free. I cannot be convinced that the powers that be are kind of like the kids are getting older and the kids have kicked in the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that right now we should all take advantage of everything. Like go hard at your podcast, go hard at your shows, because within the next 10 years, you're going to realize you're going to build something that you own independently. And you're not going to need no distribution. And one more thing before I go. Ye made a joke on this interview, which I thought was kind of funny because it's true. They asked one of the powers that be up at Lucian or whatever, Lucian Grange, whatever they made a joke. They said, so what will we do if all the artists figure out their own distribution? You want to know what they said?
What?
Kill them. But they were joking, but that's not that.
Hey.
That's the power that we have as artists. Is like
Yeah.
they're like, yo, if these people figure out how to get their own messages out, we should kill them. And obviously that was just a joke
Right.
for some.
Right. But
Maybe
there's a
not
lot of truth
us,
to it.
but
Yeah.
there's some people that probably
You
will
can hear
go
that and be a
after.
little concerned.
But when I heard that, I was like, no, they're right, because the messengers are out. Like if you look at it like this, like the field, we were all
Why do you
kept
think
in
they're
this
focusing
field.
on TikTok?
That's
And
why they're
not
trying
other
to take
issues that are more important.
Yo, they're taking TikTok down as if like that's an
What?
issue. Like that is that really
They
the
don't-
issue?
It's not.
But I know that's a sign of like where the kids are making too much noise. I'm looking at it like we're their children.
The public is
Because
taking over.
They're in the White House. Like, you hear that? Hey, it's getting louder. You hear that? And they like, we got to turn it down. So they got to turn down the independency of the people. But that's basically what I'm gonna say. I cannot be convinced that these people are losing their shits and enjoy your freedom, because I don't know if they're gonna figure it out to where they're gonna cage us back. But right now you're free. I can't promise how long you're free for, but there's new wording and new language being made up for artists, podcast owners. There's about to be all this new language hitting us. Y'all, us, what we can and can't do. But for right now, we can do whatever we want.
So
pretty
go
much.
get it.
It's
Do it
the
hard.
old
And that's
saying
and
of-
that's and
I know
that's,
that was pretty long, but I just
and that's
want
how they
everybody to
have
know.
your ass in the gym
Yeah, that's right.
at 6 o'clock in the morning with 6 plates on the deadlift, back be hurting and everything,
Right.
but you gonna do it though.
All right, yeah.
Saul, we got you.
What's up,
we
man?
got you up next, man. Listen, I cannot be convinced. What you got for us, good brother?
From what I've been going through, I think I cannot be convinced that the Western civilization outline works of what this country's been kind of built on. Coming from a Latino family and seeing the traditions of keeping their children until they get married, in the household. Parents kind of supporting their kids, even if they aren't as communicative in the sense of loving publicly. Like some families, like some moms and dads are just really quiet, and then they go home and they teach their kids in their home how to act in the public. And the kids go out and they're just like model citizens representing their family and their names and their pride of their background and heritage. And from what I've seen, in the people that, let's say, white and black America that have stayed in the United States, kids are getting kicked out early out of the households because the parents kind of admit that they did it they had the kid maybe, accidentally, or now the grandparents are taking care of the kids. There's a lot more issues, especially with, the access that we've had for so long of, the drugs and alcohol that get pushed onto the society to everything kind of messing up. When you have the other first generation Americans that come into the United States, they kind of cling on to the 1%. They focus on building, their businesses up and then handing it off to their children as an option, or they give their children the education to go and do what they got to do. But my Latino side, all my second cousins have their masters and bachelors, making 6 figures in their mid-20s.
It's beautiful.
And living in LA and still living at home with their parents, that their parents own the produce store, dry cleaners. And it's like they're learning their finances. And the one thing I can't be convinced is, personal finance at a young age. Most of my buddies growing up when their dads were hardcore about their allowances and things like that, these guys are in way better situations than the parents that are just a little bit more like, you can do what you want. And then they don't really. So you always start at the top. That's why I think it's important to focus on the children. But I do think at 38 years old, in the era that we grew up in, millennials were like 10 years behind mentally when it comes to, like, we're now getting into therapy. We're now understanding what we went through, the traumas that we went through, and not blaming the boomers or the guys above us, but then understanding what they're saying, taking the good and the bad, and then focusing on the good, right? Of the work ethic, of, I say these words, I don't want to use trigger words, but the conservativeness of your money and then trying to make something bigger for more people. For instance, I had a friend ask me recently, man, I need $750 to pay rent, and I'm thinking about how my father would have handled that. And I call Zay, and he runs an Airbnb cleaning business. He's like, hey man, I don't have the money, and I didn't have the money to help him right off the bat. But I'm like, yo, Tuesday morning, 11 a.m., you want to come help clean some places. And it's almost like my father did the same thing. You need some money from out of town? Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., let's go cut some trees down.
Right.
And it's almost like that old school mentality of just like, instead of the handout, which is the victim mentality, sometimes it's like giving people opportunities to just kind of prove their worth. And I think a lot of the other countries, if you think about it, we have the homeless population is huge in this country. Because if you go, I went to El Salvador in January, all the dudes that would be on the streets are working on the streets. Like everyone's working and helping each other in a sense of, even they might not be friendly with each other, but it's like, here's a shovel, here's something to start cleaning, start doing this. And it's like, gives you that work ethic and understanding. Once you start getting that confidence of knowing you can do it, you can start branching out and building your own business. And the next thing you know, you have something for your children. So I think it has to start with the adults, has to start with the powers above, which is the generational pull. Some of these guys are getting in their 60s and they're not understanding the gender issue to everything that's going on with the racial and the inflation, because they're in different tax brackets or they come from a different time. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, you guys created this world for these kids. These kids are getting, the Gen Zers are getting yelled at for being on their phones or being on technology all the time. They didn't create it. You know what I mean? Like, why are we getting mad at these guys of the world that the boomers built and the millennials are involved in, and then getting mad at these kids? If anything, we need to be nurturing. We need to put them under our wings. And because we went through that stuff, not shaming them, because I know, not growing up with a cell phone, there's a lot of stuff that we did that wasn't exposed that these kids are exposed to now. You know, cancel culture, to all the issues that are going on in the world, and they're getting it at a younger age. I didn't know about a lot of the issues in the United States until I was probably in my mid to late 20s that I cared about, and these kids are getting it thrown in their face in
Early
middle
in the
school,
game.
high school, and so they're coming out with all their own opinions. So if anything, it opens up the conversation. He tells me all the time, when the talking stops, that's when the fights start happening. So the fact that we're having the conversation, even though we might still be in disagreement, that's still better than being silent and then plotting against each other. You know,
I always say you could change a misunderstanding from eye to eye with a change with a heart to heart. You know what I'm saying? It can always be changed if you have a heart to heart, even if it doesn't come to a resolution where it's like one person see the other person's side, but now y'all at least have common ground where you have that heart to heart. That's the
So
really issue. Like you said, community
collaboration, and the coolest part is I'm going out trying to find people like me, and I'm talking about listening with your ears, not looking with your eyes. You know, it's like I go up to people and really just try to find out who they are inside. And again, I always joke around. My mom and dad created this, dude. I didn't create this. I maintained it. But going forward, when I meet people, it's like, oh, you get it.
Right.
And then we start inspiring each other, influencing each other with our bad habits and things that we've been conditioned to think we can't overcome. Then boom, our friends come
Not to
right
cut
in.
him off, but that's why, you know how he said bad habits. I was going to mention this. I'll talk to him about this all the time. I say how we each carry ourselves influence the next person. So I don't drink and or whatever. I'm done with it. And it's because not that he checks me. It's just God sent him around me. And I'm like, well, God sends all of us to each other because we all got something to pass to the next. For example, I have a family and a wife. He doesn't, right? So when I pull up, guess what he thinks? I want that. And rightfully so. He should have it because it's going to preserve him. When he pull up, and if I do have a drink, I'm like, shit. But it's preserving me by his actions and who he is. When he pull up with the cakes,
Shout out to my mother's kitchen. Give me
They make the best little thing I ever had in my life.
appreciate it.
But you see how we influence each other with our actions. The next person you got your establishments. You pull up. We all got something. Y'all guys are free thinkers, free talkers. So when y'all pull to the table, you are making me talk right now. See how we all influence each other with our actions. I might pull up and I'm gonna be like, yo, Zay here, put the fries away. And I think our actions, like with a tight circle, it should be worldwide like this, but let's start with our own circle. If we all carry our responsibilities,
Just to all
it's like,
create
oh
our
shoot,
own stuff.
Breaking Bread podcast coming. I gotta get my speech together. You're like, yeah. So
Right.
See, it's funny,
Exactly.
like you said, because as far as just us being men, and at our age, we're all in our later 30s, and we always say, it's hard making friends at old age, especially as men, and then finding brothers that are aligned with you. And it's honestly, it came effortlessly with all three of y'all for me, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It came effortlessly, like with me and Lee, when we met you guys, effortless, and he got me drink 2 bottles of water every morning now. You know what I'm saying? Zay got me drinking 2 bottles of
That's
water every
influence.
morning.
That's influence. Yeah, that's how we do each other,
and it's
yeah.
just like you said, the camaraderie and the community of the pillars, like you said, the children. That's how me and Lee, one of the pillars me and Lee have about the children. We don't play about them kids, And it's just focusing on
sponges.
they're sponges, and just
They're watching
accountability.
us at all times.
All time.
At all times. And I think that was major. And I thank y'all for sharing that, because a lot of people, they have these thoughts, and to see pillars of the community, men that are out here making moves, doing things in this entertainment space, a lot of people think that the mode for that is X. It doesn't have to be.
Well, money.
And I think that's what y'all are talking about, right? We can provide these wondrous experiences. And we can go out here and make sure that the folks who spend their time and their money and their effort and their capacity and their energy with us out here in Raleigh, in Durham, in Chapel Hill at night, going to a live show, hitting one of the dope spots, going to the House of Art, shout out to Kels, all that good fun stuff. Like, you can go in there, have a great time, and go home, and you can be yourself the entirety of the time.
There's no regret the next day. And be
Exactly.
like, oh man, why
It's
did I do
nothing
that
but-
last night?
It's nothing but joy. And I think that brings us into the next thing we wanted to bring y'all on to talk about. So I understand that we have some things we want to discuss. We got some announcements coming up, some really exciting moves being made in the city. So Saul, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
The floor is open. We yield our time. Tell us what's going on.
Oh man, so we back in November, after we did the November 30th show at Poorhouse, it was a great show, great lineup. It was our first show outside of House of Art, and we kind of wanted to keep trying to figure out how to keep pushing our story and outside of just one space too, to kind of like show the love in the community. And the amount of attention and love we got after that, it was so dope. On a Thursday night, by the way, which we did really well in the amount of people that came out. And when we talked to Poorhouse, they gave us another date, and they gave us one date that was literally 2 days before Dreamville. And we just said yes. You know what I mean? We took it immediately, knowing that was going to be, you know, it's everything's a 50-50 flip, right? But the good thing about, you know, like you said, I can't be convinced that this isn't going to work mentality, you know, blind faith and just the support. We didn't have any artists booked. We didn't have anything. And we had a couple people in mind, and we always have a lot of dudes in mind and a lot of people, and we love all our guys that we talk to. Putting shows together is very nerve-wracking because I have personal relationships with so many people, and I'm a very loyal person to a lot of my friends, man. I've been in this community for so long. So for me, you know, Zay jokes with me after we threw our first We the Roses festival. He's like, if we get to capacity, Saul about to lose some friends today, you know, like, you know, because
I ain't have to worry about that. I'd be like, I don't know you, bro. $25. Oh, Saul? Oh, I can go get him.
Being at Watson Ward, you know, having that big platform for so long was a blessing because I didn't have to return anyone away. I could throw a party with 600 people, and, you know, we're never really going to go over. Maybe New Year's Eve, we might have that crazy line, but it was always where I could bring everybody in. We go to a smaller space that maybe only holds 180. Now it's like, I want you to come in. I can't. You should have showed up earlier. Right. You should have bought your tickets yesterday when it was cheaper.
Right.
But it's a learning curve for everybody. It's almost like letting people know, and that's the part of strategy of marketing too. It's like, get your tickets early. That's why you have the pre-sales, and that's why I'm a constant talking board. You know, I'm just out here as a billboard. You know, he stays behind the scenes. When he comes out, he makes sure he takes advantage of every second he's out of the house. And I'm out here like majority of the time. And he basically is in my ear, you know, telling me, you know, what we need to stay focused on. And I appreciate you guys because these conversations that we have, I have them every day on the streets with everybody, right? And I think it's important it's scary to show people what you're really trying to do. But the best part is you can't ever go against what our ultimate goal is for the greater good and bringing everybody together. So this show, April 4th, it was awesome. Once we got with Sonny Miles, once we locked that in and started getting all the other guys, everything just fell in. It just lined up. And not only that, I got a phone call from Mary Black, District A's City Council. She's amazing for Wake County. We ended up meeting up, and then Natty Locks from Skate Raleigh. And she's done some really cool events for Cam Museum, and she's been involved in Dreamville last year. Ray from Aunt Betty's, another badass bartender in Raleigh, and he's from the Congo, and he's just another guy that just in Raleigh wanting to make it bigger. And then we got Professor X, who's a dope ass DJ in the Triangle, and he's a active
great
service guy, man. That guy he shows up and he's down. And he's just got this calm confidence to him that when he shows up, you just want to be around him. Like, you want to hang out with him. You want to stand by him. Like, he's just got that presence, man.
Just
that
vibes.
His vibes are dope.
He's great.
And so having that team, I brought in Zay because they brought in me for the people I knew and the influence that I brought. And so we set up a week from Monday through Friday where there's going to be events that is going to be kind of showing the people that come into the city of Raleigh. It's like our all-star week for, you know, in the NBA, highlighting the city. And I feel like it's like South by Southwest in Austin. It's like we really want to the last 2-3 years that we've seen Dreamville, there's only been like one day prior to Dreamville to launch it. And I get it. Those guys, I worked for Dreamville last year on the art and decor team and the installation team. They have hundreds of people, so many different divisions, all trying to focus on these 2 days. And it takes months to figure out budgets and all that stuff. So in my mind, we live here. Let's help them. Let's show them, even if they don't really want to be a part of it this year, it's just showing them, hey, there's a bunch of people being proactive and to help you guys to enhance your show as well. And I think if that's that collaboration, showing that love from Raleigh, when these big dogs come from the other cities, they're like, wow, you guys really do it like this? And you're like, yeah.
We got
By
it
the way,
for
you.
Monday night, you know, Aunt Betty's, you know, we have so many things lined up. So the IG for that is the Creative Collectivists. So We the Roses is going to be on that lineup. We're going to highlight House of Art, Art Space, Transfer Co. You know, we have a lot of really cool stuff for the whole week. So please go check out the Creative Collectivist IG. And we have a whole lineup of different artists and DJs and things like that. And then Thursday, actually, we have we have an event at the Raleigh Skate Park during the day from 3 to 7. And the Southwest, or the Substance Use Advisory Commission Board that I'm on, you know, shout out to them. I pitched them for sponsorship. We're going to be out there. I'll be out there setting up a table with the DJs in the skate park, talking about substance use, getting some surveys out. Just to me, it's about those kids. These kids aren't drinking anymore, really like that anymore. They're more advanced mentally they've seen their brothers, their uncles, their aunts, their moms and dads with drug and alcohol abuse. And it's like, they're understanding it. History is about atonement. It's not about repeating it, but not ignoring it, right? And I think the coolest part is I'm just excited to be out there in the public with these dudes that are literally 10 to 15 years younger than me.
Right.
And I don't treat them any different than I would treat you guys.
Community.
And that's why I try to tell dudes my age when they start shaming these kids
Can't
or
do
these boomers that are like, I can't believe it. And I look them dead in their eyes. I'm like, you're telling me that at 22 years old, you were a saint.
Thank you.
And you didn't have cell phones. So let's not go into your stories and getting canceled. Right?
Exactly.
You had it all together at 22, right?
So the amount of pressure, it's like saying Jordan and LeBron. LeBron's had to deal with so much more scrutiny than Jordan ever had to deal with. Now, I'm sure behind closed doors, Jordan dealt with a lot more powers that be. But LeBron's dealing with the public and the upper. So he's transforming. He showed a way. He showed a way. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show what you can do to become successful and to do it with a group of people and quality of life. To me, it's about stories, personally.
And I think that's awesome, man. So, like, you know, there are a couple of things that you said. I want to give a quick summary for the good people out there. So, right now, it's mid-March. At the beginning of April, we welcome Dreamville Festival to Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to Cole, shout out to Dreamville. All of y'all, salute to y'all, major. So, this is one of the biggest festivals on planet Earth. There are going to be people flying nationally and internationally right here to Central North Carolina, and they're going to need a couple things. They're going to need to know, where do I go? What do I do? Who do I hang with? Who do I kick it with? And the major announcement here from our good friends at We the Roses and Saul Parada is this. The week leading up to Dreamville. So Dreamville is Saturday and Sunday, April what? 6th and 7th. So Dreamville is April 6th and 7th. The Monday through Friday before, I love the way that Saul just said it. It's All-Star Week, baby.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through these
area.
days of the week. We're going to tell y'all, all right, boom, you coming in town for Dreamville? We're going to start with Monday. What's happening Monday? The first week of April. What's happening?
So Monday, we're going to Aunt Betty's, called the Groove Garden, and we have some really dope artists in lineup for that night. And again, Aunt Betty's is a small little gin craft cocktail bar. Greg Ewan, shout out to him. He's the one that it's his mastermind of just creating a very functional bar, and it's a lot of dealer's choice. So you go in there, it's like big city stuff. It's like
You get served.
you get personalized drinks. And Ray is one of the main bartenders there, and he's got that energy, man. That dude, if you meet him, his vibes are infectious to everything he does, and he's been throwing all these little events. So what we're doing that week, even if you're already throwing an open mic, that's the whole point. We want to just show everybody what little highlights going around in the city.
You're going to take the tour.
And again, the best part is the one thing that when we came in, we never talked about money one time. And I think that was the coolest part about all of us coming in. We all need bills to pay. We all need, we all have our necessities, but we're working with a group of people that are pushing all that to the side to focus on the greater good.
And that greater good is when y'all good people fly in to come rock with Dreamville, right? Monday, think about it. Aunt Betty's, small gin bar for you to get craft cocktails, dealer's choice, dope vibes, and live music, right?
Yes.
Boom. So that's Monday. So Tuesday, what's popping out there for y'all?
So we ended up, 1 second.
Oh yeah, take your time.
And also, just FYI, Dreamville, I know we're talking about people coming in, but if you live here too, definitely, this is for y'all too.
This is for y'all.
This
because,
is not just for people flying
in. And that's what
in.
I love. And that's what I love the way Cole did it. Cole was like, man, he could have did Dreamville anywhere. LA, Houston, New York, Miami. That man was like, I'm from Fayetteville, and I've been saying it to y'all forever. So we are going to do this right here in North Carolina, where I'm from. And that is so fly because, like Zay said, I think we own that. even with the Breaking Bread podcast, the purpose of this is to show y'all, show the good people out there. Right here in the Triangle in Central North Carolina, it's fly out here. You're going to love it. You're going to love the weather. You're going to love the food. You're going to love the people. You're going to love the vibes. We got what y'all got, and everybody's cool. People know each other. Everywhere I go, I talk to folks. Where you from? The first thing I leave with is, I'm from the Selma. I'm from a small town. You wouldn't know where it is. Where is that? Selma, North Carolina. When me and my wife, we go places, they look at us like we crazy. They're like, y'all from North Carolina? Yeah. Like, for real? Yeah. Well, y'all look like y'all not from there. And this is my favorite question. Where look like we from?
Right.
Where look like we from? Oh, y'all like from Vegas or Manhattan? No. We're from the country, and that's the vibe that we're going to give to y'all. So we got Aunt Betty's on Monday. What's the date on that song?
So that's going to be April 1st. And
April
just
1st.
to let you know, it's more of an acoustic style performance. So it's more of it holds about 50 people. But again, Monday night, we don't expect anything to be crazy. We just want places for people that are just visiting or the people that are local too. We trying to really
Good
wake up
vibes.
the local vibes too of people not knowing where to go.
Good vibes.
So Tuesday, April 2nd, we have No Skips with A-Dub at Transfer Co. And if you don't know who A-Dub is, go check her out, 97.5.
Shout out to 97.5.
She's an amazing host. She has nothing but energy. And when she does her No Skips where she picks albums, they listen to the whole album front to back, and they have arts and crafts, and it's just a chill listening vibe. The first time I went was in Durham. I can't remember the spot we went to. I walk in, and again, man, I'm honest. I'm a mixed kid. I walk in. No one looks like me. I've always had this mindset when I walk in. I realize that I have to push myself into these places to show people, to disarm. And when I walked in, next you know, 2 or 3 dudes, and I'm in Durham, and I love Durham, but I don't go out there much. I walk in, and the coolest part was like, Saul. And then next you know, it was just the coolest. It's the coolest feeling. And next you know, I'm just like hanging out with a bunch of Durham cats. CJ Monet's there doing her art.
Shout out to CJ Monet.
Transfer
CJ,
code.
man. Cool.
Like I said, it was just more connections. And then once people go, oh, you know, and then next you know, it's
then
like we've known each other our whole lives.
It's vibes. And then so, and to put some color on the No Skips, right? Saul described it beautifully. But think about it, right? So it's date night. You looking for something for you and your lady to do. So you know she liked the D'Angelo album. They gonna cover How Does It Feel. So you in there, you listen to the D'Angelo album, and they listen on vinyl, right?
Yeah.
On wax. Like we ain't talking about this. We talking about cracking and popping, needles bad, all of that.
They'll listen
Bad, we
to
gotta
all-
run your finger across the needle. Y'all know about that. So you see what I'm saying?
Sneeze and skip.
You feel me? Right? You feel me? And that's why
And
it's
again,
no
no
skip.
skips. So they'll go through the
the
whole song, no
whole
interruption. And
Yeah.
the coolest part is when I went, it was J. Cole's album, or one of his albums that I walked into that night, my first night. And they had little crossword puzzles for fun facts of the album. But when I was doing this, it really, and I want to say this to all my white friends and in the non-black community, it's like I was lost in that moment, just kind of focusing on my stuff. I look up and it was just the coolest feeling of no judgment, of being in that room and vibing out to music that I love listening to when looking around and everyone's vibing together. That's why music bridges
In
gaps.
a curated location.
And
And
it
what's the location for this
So
one?
Transfer Co. Food Hall right downtown.
Transfer Co. Food
not
Hall.
even
So
2-3
Tuesday. What
blocks.
time does that start Tuesday?
And so that will start, I believe, around 5, 6 o'clock.
Early
around
evening
that time,
on Tuesday.
early evening, going into the
Gotcha.
night.
So boom. So we setting y'all up nice. So Monday, you know what I'm saying?
Monday, Aunt Betty's.
Yeah, hit Aunt
Groove- at the
Betty's,
Groove
craft
Garden.
cocktails, acoustics.
Yep.
Tuesday.
Drinks are involved, by the way. So shout out, my sobriety is April 1st, 3 years sober.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man. And the coolest part is I want to show my buddies that want to go sober, even the buddies that are sober. It's like, yo, there's so many cool events. I'm working with Ararat, which is a wine import-export company as well, which is funny because I told them I didn't drink, and they were like, listen, we just want you to push the product. But I'm pushing like CBD drinks. There's some really good drinks out there too, kombucha. And there's, again, going out and if you're not wanting to indulge in the alcohol, there's other options.
There's other things to
other
do.
than Red Bull
Right,
and
come
soda,
enjoy the music.
or water.
Do the.
So-
I love the coloring those skips did.
Yeah,
so
and
like they'll give
having
you a coloring
interactive
book.
situations
Yeah.
where
Right.
you're not just standing around, because I understand the disconnect when people start getting intoxicated. I get that part, but understanding that there's people are still human. We still supporting each other, being out here. But yeah,
Atmosphere and activities.
and activities, and that's the whole point. Is even if you aren't on a date and you want to go out solo,
You gonna
great
run
way
into
to
some,
meet somebody,
Right.
You gonna
and
run
even
into
just
some fly
chilling and just doing your own thing and looking over and someone vibing out. It's just like that connection is priceless. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So we got Monday and Tuesday locked in.
Yep.
Wednesday, what we got?
So Wednesday, April 3rd is called Earth Joy at Art Space. I personally haven't been to Art Space, but Mary and Nat got that locked in, and it's a beautiful spot downtown Raleigh. But basically, I got my little cheat sheet here.
Oh, yeah.
A celebration of community empowerment, environmental action presented by Radical Futurist Lab in partnership with the Creative Collectivists in Art Space. Blends music, education, and activism into powerful movement for change. Earth Jam promises an intimate gathering where individuals can come together, find common ground, embark on a new journey towards climate justice. So it's going to be a little bit more geared towards the climate justice. Mary Black, very passionate about climate
That's awesome.
change, and she wanted to kind of put that out there and bring the music involved. That's the best thing. Music is the best way to introduce.
I could fix the climate.
Yeah.
I can tell y'all right now, if all evil people just stop breathing.
And remember what he said earlier. You gotta follow the personal at Zeta Influence. That's a Zeta Influence bar right there.
Viral, man.
That's not a Rita Rose's bar. That's a Zeta Influence bar.
I'm just saying.
That's the yin yang. I talk in deep modes, which is like very like this guy will just say it straight up. And
Yeah.
He
sometimes
said, "Nah,
that's how
bad
you-
people need to go away."
but that's how you shake the tree, man. That's how you rock the boat. I
And it's
try to
vibes like
I
this.
try to be nice and calm. He comes right in. He's like, just busts down there, just yells it.
Like the Kool-Aid man,
What
dog.
he meant by that was no, but it's true. It's like you need that like shock value, and
Gotta have
that's why I love Zay. He's my shock value. He wakes me up and understands what's going on. So
For sure.
It's like Kanye. I joke around. He says some of the crazy shit, but then when you listen to it, he's like,
You
he's
be
not
like,
wrong. He's again, I working in addiction and recovery programs, they always say you got to say the same thing 7 different times for it to register to so many. You're going to take it one way, you're going to take it one way, you're going to take it one way. And so when as friends, when we try to help our friends and they don't get it, and then they come back 5 years later and they go, I found this out, and then you get mad at them because you're like, I've been telling you this the whole time. You don't want to listen to me. You can't get mad at them because what you said they didn't click,
Yeah.
and they weren't ready to
Unless you
receive
say it
that.
in a way that
And
clicks.
that's
And
the
then
major key.
And you
Be
got to go on
happy.
your own journey.
Be happy.
Be happy that
Don't
they got
push
the
them away
message.
because you didn't get the credit.
I figured something out with how to influence people. Like even with my practice, like I'm practicing like trying to help my dudes out. Like, like fellas, like, so yesterday I made a post and I basically, it was wild. I made a crazy post and it was basically like, I have an OBGYN friend and pretty much sex is disgusting, right? Like semen lives in a vagina for 7 days.
I
I'm
saw
like-
that post.
So I was like thinking, cause I was watching, I was like, a lot of my friends, like they don't understand, like marriage can save you in a way. Like being with one person, whether you married or not, having kids, it's preservation. But they don't hear me when I say it like that. So I said it in a way like, yeah, did you know when you sleep around, I mean, it could get pretty gross because semen lives in a lady for 7 days and you go in there after him, it gets pretty gross. I think you all should just get one lady and play it safe. That's the way I said it versus saying like, hey, fellas, man, you should tie something down. It's safe. That's not going to work. What
You
I just said.
scared the crap out of them in that
Yeah,
positive
that's
way.
not going to work.
The
Like,
other part
makes
is
people
scaring them in the negative way, which gets
This
the
part
reaction.
doesn't work. Hey, man, we should all do this. I noticed that has no value. But when you say it in a way where we could understand, like, hey, bro, it's nasty.
Well,
out
talking to
here.
dudes,
You get what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
things
yeah,
with
yeah,
a
yeah.
purpose, but I put like something behind it to make people, because I noticed that people shock value has to increase now because we're just being dosed off with so much on your gram. I mean, you got coochie showing, then you got titty showing, then you got shit blowing up, then you got Gaza happening.
It's
just-
extreme. It's loud.
You're becoming like if you're saying
the
something in
movements
a
going
calm
on.
way, nobody can hear you. Like so, I say things in a way.
Yeah, so instead of rapping it in a Trojan horse, you rap yours in a fighter jet.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah. That's basically
I'm the
how-
Trojan
The
horse.
pay-
and then
sometimes.
oh, there we go. The Trojan horse and the
Yeah.
fighter jet.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's why we balance
both,
each other.
We hitting all angles.
And both methodologies still deliver the payload. And
Yeah.
that's what's important.
Well, it's the yin yang. It's the balance that
Even
we
down
all
to the
need.
white and black shirts.
Was-
Yeah, listen, man. We didn't even plan this, man.
I had that joke too the whole time. I stole that from y'all before.
I've been joking around too with my style. People are like, why are you growing your hair? I was like, man, I'm not trying to look white. I was just, I was like, it's called the Tanning of America, man.
Clip
I'm
that.
trying to go.
Hey,
you
clip
know.
that part.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's the part. We
Hey, we got that. We'll make sure we'll get that over to y'all. So we can get it on
we
social
need that
media.
part.
So, good people, we still here talking about Dreamville Fest Week. So, to catch
Yeah,
y'all up,
so-
if you just came in, so basically, Dreamville Festival is happening in Central North Carolina, right here in Raleigh, on April the 6th. So, Saul and Zay are here to tell us about the events that are taking place all week. Monday,
Monday,
Aunt
Groove
Betty's.
Garden at Aunt
Groove
Betty's.
Garden at Betty's.
Tuesday, No Skips at Transfer Co. Food Hall.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, April 3rd, Earth Joy at Art Space.
So all of these venues right here, you're gonna go in. Here's
And
either
these
some
events
live
are going to
music.
start around 7 o'clock at night. Again, right after food, the dinner time was going to be going into the night. So, you
Good
know.
music, good people,
And
good
the cool
vibes,
thing about
party
this
atmosphere.
too is there's after parties. House of Art is definitely one of the most. Is Tuesday night is going to be open mic with Yonder Band. Shout out to Grady and all those boys. Tuesday night 9 o'clock, House of Art. Wednesday night another spot at House of Art doing DJs live sets. And then we're going into Thursday, which is now we're going into the beginning of the weekend. We're calling it the Taste of Dreamville Food Truck Rodeo at the Raleigh Skate Park on Capitol, ran by Natty Locks. Again, another, she's from Kentucky. I love meeting people from different parts of the country, bringing their vibes and their energy to Raleigh that needs to be kind of woke up a little bit. And so that's going to be, again, and then we're going to be doing DJs and skate competitions.
And what time does that start?
And that's going to start at 3 o'clock. So that's
3
going to go
p.m.
from 3 to 7 p.m. And again, I'm going to be out there representing the Substance Use Advisory Commission Board, just talking about, you know, substance abuse and just kind of having people take some surveys. Again, it's all volunteer stuff. And I'm just excited to kind of, you know, make that an awareness, you know, for people to kind of, again, all these kids, man, everyone I talk to, musicians to everybody, somebody got somebody in their life that they need to figure out how to get through to them.
Right.
And that's the best part, you know, instead of, like I said, shaming or not knowing how to talk, it's all about that education of understanding how to, you know, I statements and emotional pronouns, you know, and things like that, which always starts with you. You need to learn how to actually talk first before you can go and talk to somebody and get mad when they don't receive it. Obviously, that's something you got to go back to the drawing board to go back and say it the 7th different time to see if
to
it
get
works.
it in.
But
And I think it's great that we're bringing this to the community. Right.
Yeah.
So you could come to these events. You go to the Raleigh Skate Park. We're going to have the
and that's
food truck
family
rodeo.
friendly too.
Family
Bring your
friendly.
kids
Bring
out.
the children, right?
Bring
But
the
then-
grandparents.
And
you know?
then it's no judgment because we're going to have folks out there that are going to have conversations about substance abuse, that are going to have conversations about the good and the bad. Yes, we're going to go out here and listen
supporting
to
your
this music.
nephew. He's a
We
skater.
gonna have a good
He's a
time. We gonna
kid.
jam. We gonna dance. We gonna party. But we're also gonna have some education. Shout out to Shout out to Tom joining a party with a purpose. Shout out to you, Tom. OG.
Yeah.
Tom,
So that's
I ain't
going
heard
from
that
3 to
news in a
7, and then right after that we have the doors open at 7 o'clock at Poorhouse, and the show starts at 8 o'clock at the Poorhouse. We the Roses. We have amazing artists that day. The lineup is amazing. Alora Dash, known her for a couple years, coming out of Wilmington. This girl's
Damn.
been working
Shout
her
out to
butt
her.
off, doing everything she can to kind of get out there and just collaborate, meet good people. And she's got an amazing voice. Her band is so tight. Jam band. I mean, I don't even know what genre to really put them in, man. They
You can't
just
really
Just
they
fly.
fly,
Just
man.
fly.
Yeah.
Just fly.
She just does whatever she
Yeah, she
wants.
does,
It's
man.
however
Yeah.
she feels. I
Oh,
think.
let me tell you something, bro. She sat in that seat with Saul is,
Oh, yeah.
and she got to talking about her singing voice. And I said, "Oh, go ahead and give us a run." She said, "Which one you want?" I said, "Give me some Beyonce." And she hit that thing off of plastic off the sofa with
Right.
no tea, no warm up, no fireplace,
just
no
do it
nothing.
right now.
She was like,
She
"You want me to do
sung
what?"
the whole jingle.
She said, "Mm-mm," and ran it.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, "Oh, ain't no auto tune in
Oh,
here.
she don't
ain't
have
no."
to get ready because
Nah,
she
she's-
stay ready.
You know
That's
what?
the
I-
I
mentality.
mess
That's
with
what I-
Allure heavy because
Yeah.
I'm into the fearless artists. Like if you care,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really mess with you too much, and she don't really care for real. She like if you like you just said, you ask her to sing, she'll be like,
and run it.
we'll be in the middle of Walmart or something.
Right.
You know
She'll
what I'm
teach
saying?
you how to sing on the spot too. Like,
Absolutely,
yeah, so-
absolutely. So she's gonna grace the stage at the Poorhouse Thursday night. Who else we got in the docket Thursday night? At the Poorhouse.
Introducing this next guy is everyone on this lineup are aliens.
Oh, yeah,
Bottom
sure.
line, this dude, we did a show Friday night at King's. Lucky Uno's no headliner. Shout out to Lucky Uno,
Shout
another
out to Lucky.
badass,
Uno.
hardworking dude, young guy that's out here just trying to push the community as well, bringing all different types of people together. So we have a great team. 3 a.m. Sound. This guy and his band. Shout out to Walt and Kevin. These guys are. I was telling him Friday night when I was watching them. I'm 38, so I'm growing up in like the TRL era, but I'm watching all these bands. To me, I was more attracted to some of these bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit, and that had different characters in the band where the guy's wearing a Komodo, blacked out eyes, white face paint, and he's just staring into the camera looking all kind of, again, it was one of those things where you're like, whoa, who are these guys? But the music was so,
Right.
it's about pulling the emotional heartstrings. You might be kind of a little scared, but you're intrigued by it. But these guys, again, stadium sound, mentality with 3 dudes, and that's kind of entertainers, musicians, and entertainers. So
also on the docket.
Yeah.
3 a.m. Shout out to 3 a.m.
man.
Sound.
Again, an
Big
alien.
shouts to 3, man. Listen.
Night Vision, new album out. The guy is killing it.
Go run that right now.
He's out there. It's just one of those, and he'll get you hyped up too. Listen to his music. His
He
music will
understands
hype you up.
entertainment. I spend a lot of time with 3. We go to his house. We had these entertainment talks. Like, yo, we really got to do this, bro. Become a character. Like,
Yes.
Yo, he's got it.
remember at the show I was explaining. Remember Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Mhm.
You know he's a character, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And where did you see him first? On the thing, cracking beers. And then when I got to see him in Philly in real life, it was the same thing.
Mhm.
Because he's the character.
He's a character.
So
again, the
as an
glass
artist, you got to
breaking.
separate yourself
Yeah.
from your
Mhm.
stage presence. The whole thing, like Stone Cold, and mind you, wrestling is real, but the character is fake,
It's produced.
but it's real.
But you don't believe
You can't
that?
tell me it's not real.
Yeah, you can't.
No, don't say that in my house. Don't ever say wrestling is fake.
Oh no.
You should have ran that as I cannot be
Don't
convinced.
wrestling is real. But I was just saying we're tapping into, like, we're trying to push artists to get into entertainment. So when people come to see you, they leave with something.
Exactly.
3 a.m. is figuring it out.
Oh,
That's what it's gonna be.
you just said one of
Yeah.
my favorite phrases. Me and my homeboys, we bring these up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What up, bros? I'm leaving with something.
Leaving with
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
When I come to a spot, right? Because you're going to see us, the Breaking Bread podcast,
sure.
out with Zay, out with Saul, out with Kales, out with Nito, out with the fam, out with all of them. Listen, come rock with us. Come say hi, right? We got a drink for you. We can kick it. We can vibe. And what we really want to highlight, and we're going to run through the docket
Yeah.
one more time just to summarize it. But when you really think about it, right? We got Dreamville. Again, shout out to Dreamville, shout out to Cole and the whole set, coming into town, bringing the biggest festival on planet Earth popping that weekend. That's happening. The lead up to that, think about it. We have everything you want. We have intimate settings at places like Transfer Co., Food Hall,
Aunt
places
Betty's.
like Aunt Betty's, where it's a small intimate gathering, you live
All within
music,
walking
friends,
distance, by the
all
way, of
within walking
downtown.
distance. That's Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, we doing it out there, and Thursday, doing
At
it out
Art
there at the
Space.
Yep, we're doing it at the Art Space. House of Art. Shout out to Kales is booming on both nights. If you've never been to the House of Art, make
Right.
plans to go. Kales, I was showing my wife the other day the decoration. It's literally a walking museum. You walk in, it is decorated
House
from
of
ceiling
Art.
to floor. They have a wall full of open books, y'all. I'm talking about
It's like Harry Potter.
literal
Yeah,
Harry
literally,
Potter books
literally.
where the books are opening, taking the entire wall. Every inch in there is decorated. So go check out the House of Art. Great drinks, great venue. Then on top of that, we're doing it at the skate park for mental health and wellness, substance abuse. Then we pivot into the legendary Poorhouse. We get
Yes.
let's put some respect on the Poorhouse
Right.
name.
Yeah.
The Poorhouse ain't some bar. The Poorhouse ain't some spot. We've had legends in our game with their name on the wall. Masego got his name on the wall in the House of Art. Shout out to Ninth Wonder. Shout out to Little
Poorhouse,
Brother.
yeah.
Shout out. Listen, it's legendary in the game. And We the Roses, right here, is throwing one of the biggest concerts in the city right here up against, leading up in the Dreamville weekend. So, like my
Yeah.
man Saul said, it's All-Star Week out here, baby. So start your day off by following the
Yeah.
collective.
The collective creative creativists.
collective.
Yeah, sorry,
Right.
sorry. No,
Right.
it's basically activists and creatives combined.
Exactly.
And both definitions it blends perfectly of what we're trying to do. Just create awareness by also being creative and making everything interactive. So I was gonna say, going into the Poorhouse of We the Roses, again, Laura Dash, again, more jam band, more, man, again, the genre, like I said, she just does everything. And then you go into 3 a.m. Again, to me, I always get stadium vibes from him more. I don't
Absolutely.
even want to use any major guys, but the weekend mentality of just kind of creating that stadium sound and just that emotional. He's got a little bit of Kanye vibes to him too, of just pulling your emotions out and building you up. And right after that, we got my boys coming from Atlanta, Georgia, Edgewood Heavy, another group of rock stars, aliens. Goldie and Gio, been my boys for about 3 years. And they started literally 8 months prior. And these dudes have been rocking and rolling in Atlanta, playing 4 to 5 days a week, running open mics, touring. They got a new tour coming out in June of their new album, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Soul. These guys blend everything from new pop to rock to funk. I mean, these guys are blending all of it, and their styles, their looks, to their voices. They got Goldie's blues, He's got the voice of Andre 3000. He's bringing that Atlanta vibe.
Oh, that's
and
fly.
then Gio, long. He looks like Bret the Hitman Hart, man. This guy got
Not Bret Hart with the pink onesie,
yeah,
dog.
he got the
Sharpshooter.
beautiful long hair, but
Say
he
proud,
comes
look
from
at
a
him.
opera, classically trained
He
opera
understands the
background.
character
Yeah.
thing.
And he's
Mhm.
shredding on the axe. And again, these guys, the soul, the rock, the energy,
Opera. They go into Bro goes into an opera
professionalism,
set.
the entertainment.
Opera set.
No cap. Middle of the set, the music stops, and he goes into
There's
full blown. He's like,
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's
I
fly.
gotta see
and
that.
then right after that is rock and
And then-
roll.
and
then-
so you go from
Goldie comes out,
opera-
starts talking like
Yeah.
this. Again,
Yeah.
they bring that
Yo, you
old
gotta
school
see it.
60s,
I gotta
see
70s
that. You gotta see
vibes
it.
Oh, yeah.
with the
I'll be
new
there for
age
four.
rock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we in there.
We in there
And
for
again,
four.
they blend some hip hop into it. Again, that's why in my mind it's like these guys were. And it's I always want to bring a band from another city that understands what the goal is to shake the trees of all the bands in town, giving them a glimpse. Like every night should be Madison Square Garden mentality.
That's right.
Every night should be a stage to be pushing yourself. Even if you got one person sitting in front of you, rock that show. You know what I'm saying? And
They
so
get it.
Edgewood gets it.
Nobody, if it's 0 people, you're going to get the best show you ever seen.
All
Yeah.
effort
And
and
nobody's
execution.
going to see it.
Yeah,
Man,
and we're
that's
just
so
excited to combine our teams with the guys that are coming from this area. And then last but not least, our headliner, Sonny Miles.
Yeah.
This dude's been, just coming off tour last year with Mac Ayres. This dude, he went on a national tour, and
Oh, I rock the Sonny.
his new album,
Crazy.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Professional, bro.
I'm telling, I can
A pro's
listen. To
pro.
that. I'm
He's a
38,
pro,
and again, to
bro.
me,
He's a pro.
He's a pro.
it talks to me and where I'm at in my life, and every morning I'm getting up. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's another great album to start listening to kind of get your day
I
started.
listen to it every day pretty much because I
Even if you-
appreciate the professionalism. Like, bro, really, there's artists who sit down and worry about how everyone's going to know them. And then you got artists who sitting there really tapping into the music. He's like, his music is professional. I'm listening to the whole album like, I don't know if this wasn't made at Universal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
moment he starts
I don't
singing,
know.
Yeah,
the
when you
moment
start
you're
asking
like,
yourself who
you're-
mixed
you're
this,
like,
man,
wait,
that's
is
when
he-
you're like,
is
isn't
he
he
yeah.
already on the radio? Isn't he? Like the moment you start looking,
Yeah.
like, wait,
Who
haven't
is
I already
this,
heard
right?
of him?
Right.
Because
Mhm.
he's got
He's
that
good.
style and that he's right in that pocket, dude.
And he's
Like,
going to be right here at the Poorhouse,
Yeah.
Poorhouse.
powered by
Poorhouse.
and brought to you by
We the
We the Roses.
Roses.
You know what I mean? So they're going to have merch here. So y'all, here's the message we want y'all to
We
get
got
right
one more
here.
day too.
Oh, we got one more day. Oh, wait a
yeah,
minute.
man. All the
I
way
was
to
about to
Friday.
cut
This
too
is
short.
Thursday. This is
Breaking
Thursday,
news.
baby.
We ain't even got to the end. So what's popping on Friday?
So Friday we have basically it's called TOTD Soulful Stretch Yoga at Art Space in the morning. We want to do more of a brunch
That's fly.
style, something more during the day, but we want
That
again
is fun.
wellness. So we're trying to wellness event at Art Space will feature a variety of activities to promote health and wellness. Attendees can look forward to participating in yoga sessions to relax and rejuvenate the mind and the body, kind of getting ready for the craziness of Dreamville,
Yeah.
right? It's
Mhm.
almost like we're gonna try to get your mind right, get that center mentality going into the night.
Where can people find the tickets for this litany of events?
So if you go to the Creative Collectivist IG,
The link.
the link on there will give you the and again, we're not, some of these things aren't ticketed and some of them are. We wanted to kind of highlight everyone that's doing anything that night, even if it's something they've done already
Right.
every week. But definitely go on there and they'll have more details. There are tickets available to buy for the week, and then there are individual tickets for each show.
Gotcha. So let me give y'all some instructions, good people. What you're going to do is you're going to get on IG. You're going to go to the Creative Collectivist. And you're going to go out there and see what venues you want. And I'm going to issue y'all a challenge right here, right now. Live on the Breaking Bread podcast. So the yoga's on Friday, right?
So yoga's on Friday, and then in the afternoon, again, I got
we got the
three
black,
things
we got,
that
uh-huh.
you got. So we already talked to House of Art as well. They got some badass DJs coming from New York that do Afro beats. It's going to be at House of Art that night from probably 11 to 2. Same time, we're going to be doing the Capitol Club right before that from like 8 to 11. So there's going to be constant back to back. And this isn't locked in, but I'm going to say this because it's going to happen. I got Nito first Friday at Raleigh Times, 8 to 11, right on the middle of the street
Mhm.
in downtown Raleigh.
Mm.
And I haven't even locked this in yet, but it's going to happen.
Nito.
So
Y'all know
again,
what it is.
this is that night. We got 3 things going on at the same time.
It's going to be beautiful.
So the best part is we got 50,000 people coming into town. So
This is what you do.
if
Go
one
to the
place,
Creative.
just try to hit them up
And this is the Atlas. Guys, y'all, this is the Atlas for what you need to do. You in town, you live here, you from here, you traveling here. Go to the Creative Collectivist, peep out the week's worth of menus. Now, here is the challenge that I'm going to give to y'all, right? For my single brothers out here. Me and Zay, we are not included in this.
Nope.
For my single brothers out here.
If I
What's
was,
up?
I'd go to
Hey,
that
what's-
yoga thing. I'm
I
not
just did
telling
that.
That's what I'm about to get
Player.
to. Here's the challenge I'm gonna give to y'all.
Like, what's
This
up?
is what I
What's
want
up?
y'all to
What's
do.
up?
You find you somebody that you met that you interested in at the first event, but it has to be before the yoga event. What we want you to do, you found somebody, you made a friend, you know what I'm saying? Well, take a picture, send it to @BBreadPodcast, right? That'll be the first one.
Just to let you guys know, will be an IV station at the yoga event too.
Yes.
For
This is
hydration
great.
again.
This is great. So you meet somebody on Monday or Tuesday, you send that picture to @BBreadPodcast. And this is how you're gonna win this challenge. The first person or the first couple, the first set of friends who met during this week that sends a picture from either the yoga event on Friday. So we need the first one. We met on Tuesday, and then on Friday, this is us, hitting the downward dog pose or whatever you want to do. Right? We need both of them. We
Child's
making friends on the Breaking Bread podcast. So what we want to see is y'all send us that. The friends who met from the furthest distance. We'll work something out for y'all.
Yeah,
so
I'm
let's
down.
say you
I'm
from
down.
here and you met a homie from El Salvador,
I'm down
right?
with that. We'll
You-
get them in. We'll
That's
get them in.
what's up.
Let's
You
get
do
them
that.
in.
You
I'm
send
down.
that to
Yeah.
you send the first. Now I need 2 pictures. You got to like, subscribe, and follow. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at your YouTube.
Right.
Yep, show me the heart. Show me the bell.
You might get free merch.
You might. We don't know what we're gonna give you. We don't know.
We gonna
might
get y'all
listen.
together.
Yeah.
We might get y'all some merch. We might send y'all a box of shirt. We might say, listen, meet us at this restaurant. We take you out to dinner. But we need 2 things: like, subscribe, follow. The picture when y'all met. The picture at an event on Friday with both of y'all together. Because this is about community, so we about to put our money where our mouth is. One last time on the rundown.
All right.
I'm going to call out today. Saul's going to call out the event, and we going to set it, good people. So the week of Dreamville, right here in North Carolina. We got the All-Star Week leading up to it. And what I understand, y'all are calling it Dreamville, but the Ville's in parentheses. Because we're
so
living the Dreamville.
taste of
Oh.
Dreamville.
Taste of Dream, parentheses, Ville.
Ville.
So on Monday,
Monday,
April 1st, what we got?
we got the Groove Garden at Aunt Betty's, which is located in the Morgan Street Food Hall.
Tuesday, April
Tuesday,
2nd.
we have No Skips at Transfer Co., hosted by A-Dub from 97.5.
Wednesday, April 3rd.
We have Earth Joy at Art Space, which is going to be more towards climate change and, again, tons of
Get
interactive
rid of evil people.
activities. Get rid of evil people.
Thursday,
Thursday
April 4th.
is going to be more of a day. So from 3 to 7 at the Raleigh Skate Park. Again, DJs and skate competitions from 3 to 7. Thursday night, we have We the Roses at the Poorhouse.
at the Poorhouse.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all might want to get a ticket. And even if you're my friend, and I said this on a microphone, I'm gonna clip this because it's nothing I can do that day. So I'm gonna just be known that it's I
Zay,
don't
this
know.
is your camera right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
there's
go.
your camera right
It's
there.
your camera right
It's nothing I can do that day. So I want y'all to know, I just said buy the ticket right now because that day I don't know where my phone is at. So I'm just telling you, I don't know where my phone is on April 4th. All right, that's all I want to say.
And on Friday, April
And on
5th.
Friday, we have yoga at Art Space. And then in the afternoon, we have Nito at Raleigh Times, 7 to 11. And then we have House of Art, Afro Beats, DJs. We're going until 2 in the morning.
Shout out to all of them. Shout out to Nito, House of
And
Art, and
then
Kels. And of course, we just
Enjoy
issued
Dreamville.
Enjoy Dreamville because we are living the Dreamville, the Breaking Bread Podcast Challenge. Once again, I need one picture of you meeting that homeboy or homegirl at a day before before the yoga event. Then you choose whichever one later in the week. On a Friday, the yoga event, Club 16, going to see the bros out there. Nito, shout out to the fam, whatever. We need a before, we need an after. Whoever met from the furthest distance, you going to get something. What you going to get? Well, come ask us.
Put them on the list.
I was going to say, yeah.
Put them on the list.
Yeah.
We got the commitment right here. Wait a
That's
minute.
it.
We could
That's
put you on
it.
the list.
Breaking news right
the
here.
Yoga is after the We the Roses, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, so we'll change it then because I like putting it on the list.
Yeah.
So give us something from early in the week. Give us something from before Thursday, and we got the commitment right here from We the Roses.
Yeah, we got y'all.
Whoever wins, we gonna do what?
We're gonna let y'all
Put
in.
you on the
To
list.
the
Yeah.
Poorhouse. We gonna put you on the
You
list
better
for
get
the
those
free.
pre-sales. They're $20
You
right
better
now.
get them.
Yeah.
Hey,
Day
Zay said he
of
can't find his phone.
25.
I
Zay
lost
can't-
my phone April
Tell
4th,
Yeah, he said he lost his
2024.
phone April 4th. I'm about to put a post-it note in the steering wheel to remind him to get me on the list. Good people. Thank y'all for attending. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for rocking with us on the Breaking Bread
Peace out.
podcast.
Peace out.
Family Zay.
Welcome
We
back.
out.
Family
Season
Song,
three.
The
season 3,
Roses.
we on to my boy. We back,
Yeah,
baby.
we back, baby.
Season
We'll
3.
get with y'all. Peace.
Season 3.